Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here, and you are welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching, I don't do the touching. And welcome to Sunday's edition of the dceu Daily. On the menu today, I'll be reading out another article about the Snyder Cut, and this is one of the best yet. But it comes from a sporting site called White Wolf. What's all that about? And that dastardly scooper Humberto Gonzalez has been throwing out a few hints about the Batman, quoting something from BVS. And could it be possible that this film could be a prequel of Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice? That Robert Pattinson is actually really playing a young Ben Affleck. Everyone has their theories, but the man in the know, Matt Reeves, is not saying a word. So welcome, and let's read this article about the Snyder Cut from White Wolf. Now, there's lots of these articles around, and I did ask in yesterday's DCEU Daily, is any of this actually making a difference? Right, let's give it a read. Warner Brothers should release the Snyder Cut of Justice League. Now, has this got a name on it? I can't see the person's name, but never mind. Right. It's been nearly 20 months since Justice League was released in theatres. But fans are still clamouring for a release of Man of Steel and Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice director Zack Snyder's cut of the film. Yeah, we do. Known as the Snyder Cut by the diehards that have strongly voiced their displeasure with Warner Brothers. You see, I don't hate Warner Brothers, I just hate this decision. But I'm not one of these people who actually hates Warner Brothers. I will be clear about that. Where are we? The director's cut would deliver the vision Snyder had when he was initially tapped to create the DC Extended Universe, the DCEU of movies. Snyder left Justice League in post-production, and the Avengers director Joss Whedon took over and made major changes to the film. Aside from the common daily criticism of Warner Brothers online, Snyder Cut supporters have started petitions that have received hundreds of thousands of signatures, and the release of the Snyder Cut hashtag recently went viral. And it's not just fans that want the Snyder Cut. As the DCEU's Aquaman Jason Momoa has been clear that he is with the fans that want to see the Snyder Cut. And you see, there's actually a clip here. Should we play it? Let's see if we can play it. Can we play it? Let's have a look. Let's see if we can play it.
Some fans are obsessed with the so-called Snyder Cut, Justice League, like an alternate cut.
Yeah.
I'm
obsessed with it too.
Are you? Yeah. Do you want to see a different version eventually at some point?
That's just one thing that it sucks with our business where you just your mind, but
yeah. Okay. Fair enough. We'll keep it at that.
There you go. How awesome is that? And I did play that for you at the time, didn't I? During the build-up for the Aquaman release. But so honest that he can't talk about stuff in this business. But absolutely, that's what I love. But let's continue this article. Mammoth? He's Mammoth, but that's not his name. Momoa isn't one to hide his feelings, and you could tell by the way he said it that he genuinely wants the Snyder Cut to be released. Ray Fisher Cyborg also said he wants the Snyder Cut released, and apparently a lot of his character story and the plot of the other heroes was cut from the Justice League after Whedon took over. And the other actors like Henry Cavill, Superman, and Ben Affleck, Batman, have had only nice things to say about their former director. Wonder Woman star Gal Gadot also holds Snyder in high regard. I'm getting a bit emotional now, and this is what she had to say on Twitter whenever she posted this. February the 19th of this year. Wow, this image takes me back. The amazing Zack Snyder took it on the first day we ever met. He believed I could be a superhero, and then I became Wonder Woman. Yes, you did, Gal, and I tell you what a beautiful hero you are to so many of us. Wow, just too emotional. Snyder was the main person that selected the stars like Gadot to play the DC heroes, and most viewers, whether they love or hate Snyder's DCEU films, seem to be happy with the casting choices he made. All the actors are or were in the case of Affleck and potentially Cavill awesome in the terms of the looks and attitudes of the characters. Snyder knocked it out of the park. He did with the casting. No question about that. But in terms of film plot tone, Batman v Superman in particular was not well liked by critics, despite many common non-film critics that loved it as supported by those in favour of the Snyder Cut being released. This was a big factor in disappointing box office performance, which was without question the main reason Warner Brothers went in another direction with their slate of superhero movies. Yeah, I don't want to defend Sugihara, but Sugihara was, in between a rock and a hard place situation. Does he carry on with the Snyderverse? Does he send Zack Snyder packing? Whatever decision he made was difficult, but what I won't defend him about, this is a decision he should have made after the release of Zack Snyder's Justice League, and that, my friends, is where he got it wrong. However, it is totally not right to cut up exactly and essentially destroy Snyder's vision after Justice League was nearly complete. Warner Brothers chose Snyder to lead the important franchise, and they should not have bought in Whedon, who obviously had a vastly different idea for how Justice League should be, adding more false comedy similar to that of the Marvel franchise. Listen. That isn't his fault. He was brought on to do a gig. Basically, he was told, you want the Batgirl project? You deal with this. We want a Marvelized film. And Joss did as he was told. So I've never attacked Joss Whedon, and I never will, because I thought he actually was between a rock and a hard place. He just did as he was told. It's as simple as that. Messing with an artist's vision simply isn't right, and that's what happened with Snyder in general. It just didn't make sense to not let Snyder finish what he started, exactly. As love it or hated it, he had everything mapped out for the journey of each character, exactly. At this point, with so many people, including stars of the film, that want to see the Snyder Cut, why not just release it? Would it make Warner Brothers look bad if the Snyder Cut is considered superior to the theatrical cut? It's probably either that or the Snyder Cut isn't as ready to release as its proponents want to believe. Either way, even an unfinished product would draw plenty of interest. Look, my friend, I love the article and I appreciate it, but it's not proponents or supporters saying this. Zack said it's almost finished. So, you know what I mean? Make of that what you will. Some people have even put up some of their own money to help complete the visual effects to make the Snyder Cut as complete as possible. That might not actually make a dent for a necessary budget to get it done, but it does indicate that releasing the Snyder Cut will make money from people willing to see it in the theatres or buy it in home video form. The announcement video of Warner Media's new streaming service HBO Max, which includes Warner Brothers and DC movies, showcase Justice League among the top content that will be available. So Warner Brothers is somewhat proud of the product Whedon ended up finishing. Unfortunately, that could be the death knell for us ever seeing some version of Snyder's Justice League. This is the thing, right? Are they proud of it? Who could be proud of that? Who could be proud of what they did with Henry's upper lip? Who could be proud of the fake Kent Farm background? Who could be proud of Batman's little grin when Batman turned up? I had to do that again because I didn't say it properly, did I? So there's a lot of things not to be proud of. Actually, you just can't be proud of this film. I can watch it, I can enjoy it to a point, and I can kind of blind my eyes to the stuff I don't like. But ultimately, right, this was wrong. It was so wrong, and they can't be proud of this film. Or maybe HBO Max could be enough to push the Snyder Cut over the top. If Warner Media believes releasing Snyder's vision is enough to get a bunch of subscribers, which would almost certainly be the case, it will be a good decision as they look to compete with Netflix and other streaming services. The reason this is a discussion is because so many people, Momoa and Fisher being two of them, are passionate about it. The only hope is that the support keeps going, maybe for years or decades. The Richard Donner director's cut of Superman 2 took 26 years to release after a similar situation took place. The movie was made lighter under the new director, and some might believe the Snyder Cut is worth that long wait. It's worth any wait, right? And it's a great article. I love the article, but I don't want to wait 26 fucking years. Do you know what I mean? None of us do. We're fighting for this now because we want it now. And I think I'm willing to fight for the next 5 years. I'm willing to fight forever, but you know what I mean? We want the light at the end of this tunnel. And there's a new campaign by the RT Snyder Cut movement. And of course, you can follow RT Snyder Cut on Twitter. So they are saying to us that they want to do a letter writing campaign to new Warner Brothers CEO and what's her name? And whatever, right? But Sarnoff, sorry, yeah, Anne Sarnoff. So, but they want us to be patient. She comes into work some point in August, and they want us to wait a month till she's got her feet under the table because of advice they got from an insider at Fox how to deal with this thing. And not only that, in these letters, they're going to print out these dollar bills with Zack Snyder's face in them so the fans can show how much they would want to invest in this, to pay to see the Snyder Cut. It's another great idea from the movement, and, you know, it's very exciting, and I definitely want to be a part of that, and I will be a part of it, damn it. So all very exciting. Great, another great article, this time from a sports site. And it's amazing the varied people that are writing about this, because this is not just about being a fan of the DCEU or Zack Snyder. Something very, very wrong was done, as we keep on saying. A man lost his daughter. He went to mourn with his family. He was assured that nothing would happen to his film, and they cut it to pieces and changed it. And it was an absolute disaster. And Warner Brothers must do a U-turn on what Sujihara did. It's as simple as that. Now, should we talk about the Batman? Yes, because I'm really excited about this film shooting next year. So excited. So we know Robert Pattinson is going to play the Batman, but we still don't know, because this is supposed to be part of the DCEU. We still don't know if he's playing a younger Ben Affleck. And it looks like Warner Brothers or Robert Pattinson or Matt Reeves are not willing to say anything right now. Will they wait for us to watch the film? I don't think they can. I think there's going to have to be some kind of... I mean, when Matt talks on Twitter, and he doesn't talk very often, but I know he's done question and answer sessions on there before. I'm talking about 6 months ago, and they were really good. And he was really, you know, going into detail about what he wants to do with the character. So, you know, there's a lot of things, very interesting things. In fact, you know, wait there. Let's see if we can find this stuff. Hang on. Yeah, I found a few things. Let's see what we, you know. So this is one fan, and we're talking about the 15th of March here. So, hey, Matt, would it be fair to say that Batman might cast a very, very long shadow in a dark alley while backlit by an open door? Depending on the angle of the light, Matt Reeves replies. Interesting. Is your Batman film, dare I say, inspired by Chinatown? I watched at WB before writing for the 1 millionth time. What a great movie. Interesting. Right. Matt, a question you can answer perhaps. Will Batman make an appearance in the Batman movie? I like that. That's funny. And he takes the funny side. Matt, is it true that Batman will have aspects of Chinatown in The Long Goodbye? Because I love those films. He's kind of already answered them. He just says, I love them too. I think that's about it. Let's see if my stupid phone can give me any more. And that's it. That's it. So I thought I'd kind of... He answered a couple of questions a few months back, and I thought it was quite interesting. So the question still remains, which they're not going to answer anytime soon, is Robert Pattinson the younger version of Batfleck? We don't know that. We are not going to know that, obviously, for some time to come. What do I think? I think Ben Affleck is going to cameo in the Batman. That's what I believe. No one's told me this, but I believe it's going to happen. I believe Robert Pattinson is indeed a younger version of Batfleck. I believe this will be a kind of Batflash kind of film. I think it will be integrated with the rest of the DCEU. Why do I think this? Shazam. What's Shazam got to do with the Batman? Shazam and Ezra Miller being confirmed as the Flash for the It director's Flash movie, right? Well, what does that tell you? That Shazam cameoed so many BVS moments. Why would they do that? This is the new DCEU run by Walter Hamada. Why would they do that? But they did it. That shows you they don't want to hide away from what Zack did, right? Ezra Miller is still the Flash. They had a great opportunity when he went off on his own esteem to write his own script, right? But they kept him. They listened to him. He wanted it to have a balance of darkness and light. He didn't want to be a funny, marvelised film. He got his way. So Zack Snyder chose Ezra Miller. David F. Sandberg represented Zack Snyder's DCEU universe. So it doesn't really seem like they really want to move away from the DCEU. Now, it's of course true that Aquaman didn't really mention much about what happened in Justice League. But at that point, Justice League was a very sore point. It was the last movie. Then, I think Mira mentions Steppenwolf once, and that's it. But it's still mentioned, and they understand that there has to be connectivity. So basically, we know one thing. The DCEU is not being rebooted. No matter anyone who hates it, it's not being rebooted. Shazam shows they are not ashamed of that universe, but they want to reset a few things, tones and things like that. But it's still going to be the DCEU that we were introduced to from Man of Steel. So that would show to me that this Batman movie will absolutely be in connectivity with BVS and what we've already seen from Batfleck. So this is why I have come to the conclusion that Robert Pattinson's Batman is indeed Batfleck. But I want you to tell me what you think about this. Please comment down below. Like, share and subscribe. Tell your mums about it. Tell your sisters about it. Tell your daughters about it. Tell your sons about it. Tell everyone about Crazy Mick, who's got this big mouth YouTube channel. And I'll see you on the next video.